Yes.
Great, thank you. This webinar is all about exploring emerging technologies for lifelong learning and success. It is a State University of New York initiative that is sponsored mainly through the University of Buffalo and also a partnership with Binghamton University. And the URL for the project is up on the screen, suny.edu/EMTECH. Hopefully that's easy to remember, a nice short URL. I am Robin Sullivan. I'm a learning strategist with our University of Buffalo Libraries. My email address is also on the screen. Again, a nice short one, rrs@buffalo.edu. If you need to find me in the UB directory, Roberta is what I'm listed under. You won't find me under Robin, but everybody calls me Robin, so please do. And Cherie Van Putten is an instructional designer from Binghamton University. She's kind of the second in command of Mtac, and we have a great big team of faculty, staff, and students from around the SUNY system who have helped put this great opportunity together. So for short, the name of the project is a big mouthful. For short, we call it Mtac Mooc, and it's discovery learning. So it's not a traditional Mooc. It is not a lot of content. It's some content about how to use mostly freely available emerging technologies for the purpose of creativity and being innovative. And so it's discovery learning. You get what you put into the course, that's what you'll get out of it. The project, this online learning opportunity, is targeted to all learners. So it initially started out as an opportunity for SUNY faculty, but then we realized that we wanted the faculty to share the skills and knowledge that they were gaining about the effective use of emerging technologies with their students. And so transition in the course has made this project available to students, faculty, staff, and anybody from across the world who has a desire to stay current with rapidly changing technologies. The objectives, the goal of the project is to help you identify the value and implications of using established emerging technologies for both your personal and professional lives. You'll also gain some strategies about lifelong learning. That's a big concept that we put through the course. The very first module out of the modules is all about lifelong learning. And there's support through the course, through the support of others, but mainly you're asked to try to find answers to your own questions, and we try to help you to do that. The project is in two different pieces. So the big part is a Coursera-based Mooc. Coursera is the most popular Mooc platform. Mainly that's determined by the number of enrollments that they have. And a Mooc stands for Massive Open Online Course. So it's an online learning opportunity. It's very similar to a course you might find in a Blackboard system. You go into Coursera, you sign in, and you're given a menu of items to go through in the course. There's 5 modules. The 5 modules are broken down. The first one is all about lifelong learning. So that one you gain some concepts such as what does it mean to be information literate? What is Creative Commons, and how can you ethically use other people's works and label your own work for other people, whether or not you want them to use it. We talk about open educational resources and just basic concepts, accessibility of online information. The next 4 modules focus on the 4 C's of 21st century skills. Those C's are communication and collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. Those were identified through the National Education Association as the skills that employers most desire in the people that they hire. So this screen is a zoomed in version of the Mooc, and As you'll see, there's different videos from people from across SUNY. Ken knows Martha very well. Actually, Martha just started another position back with SUNY. That's wonderful. And so her section is all about communication and collaboration, and you'll see across the left menu there are readings, videos. Discussion prompts are a big part of this course, so they are required, even though in most Coursera courses they're optional. In the Mtac forum, you would share links to the portfolio that you develop. As you develop your portfolio and you add artifacts that you create from the tools that you explore, you share those links into the forum and then have conversations with your peers about the learning and the value of your explorations. The second part of Mtac is a wiki. So a wiki is something that is co-constructed, and the wiki allows anybody to add resources. We started out the wiki with about 150 different technologies, resources. Like I said, the majority of them, I'd say 95% or more, are freely available. There's a few exceptions in there. Everything that is freely available, though, you can most likely expect that there's a premium version. So you'll get a certain amount of functionality at the free cost, but then the premium versions give you a cost, but then other additional abilities. So the wiki has, it's organized in the same way as the Mooc, and you use this wiki as part of those discovery exercises. Just want to go back a second. So in the wiki, when you get to the Discover menu, you'll see a breakdown of menus that you can search and filter. So we started out with about 150 records, and we are now up to just past 400 records of different technology tools and resources. They're broken down into the same categories as those modules. So if you're interested to be creative, or you have a need to tell a story, you can choose those objectives or those categories or the different modules, and it will help you narrow down on finding and selecting some of the tools that you want to explore. You're not told which tool to explore. You figure out what is your purpose, what is your needs, and then you go through the wiki and you find a technology that you wish to explore, create an account, create something, and then that's something that you would add to your portfolio. This screen talks just a little bit about the process in the Mooc. So you register and then you read, view, and participate with all the course materials. The discovery exercise asks you to go to the wiki, find a tool or resource that meets your goals or your needs, create something, create an artifact. Sometimes there are also resources on the wiki, so you can't always create something. So for example, if you decide that the TED Talks are something that you wish to explore, sure, you can figure out how to become a TED Talk speaker, but most likely you're going to just review some of the TED Talks, and then the artifact that you would share in your e-portfolio would be embedded video of one of the TED Talks, and then you would talk and reflect on what did you learn? What surprised you about the tool that you didn't know before you were just checking it out? How will this tool or resource help you meet your needs? And anything else that will just help you reflect. And some of the research that we've done on this type of learning is that the bulk of learning happens when you read the learning of others. So there's many people in the Mooc that have created portfolios. All those portfolios are shared. That's actually a requirement of each module, is that you share a link to your portfolio as you're developing it. And then others kind of go through and look and say, okay, well, I learned a lot just by learning about what someone else did as they created their infographic or as they explored this tool or resource. So that's kind of the basic functionality. When you get through those steps, The end process in each of the modules is that you claim a digital badge. So for each module, you would get a digital badge. We have people that are managing the badge submissions, double checking to make sure that the requirements are met. There is a requirement of at least a 2 to 3 paragraph reflection. That's not a lot. But you know, there is somebody just making sure that you have an artifact on the page, some sort of visual, it's linked to the tool or technology that you explored, and you have a proper reflection in there. When you do that, when you get to the end of the course, you can also earn a Coursera certificate. This is something that for the first 2 years that the project has been around, we just passed the 2-year mark at the beginning of the month. Anybody from the SUNY system was able to earn a Coursera certificate at no cost. This includes faculty, staff, students, and also alumni. So if you know anybody who's alumni, you can point them to the Mooc. And anybody outside of SUNY could also earn every single badge at no cost, but if they wanted to get that Coursera certificate, they did have to pay a small course fee. For Mtac Mooc, the course fee is $29. Starting on March 27th, Coursera has implemented an offer for to help people get through our current circumstances with COVID. And Mtac Mooc was one of 35 Moocs that has been selected to be a free offering to anybody in the world. That's a great opportunity. We are doing our part to help increase the education of the world, and that has made, you know, just the COVID instance itself has caused many people to gravitate towards learning to improve their own personal status. Many people have additional time on their hands, and you can't go out and enjoy time outside of your house very easily. So many people are turning to online learning environments. Coursera Moocs are definitely something that has caught everyone's interest. And so the traffic in the course has increased dramatically because of that offer. There's some little, you know, there's a lot of great that happened because of that. A lot of people are learning that did not know that it was an option for them. We do have a little bit of work ahead of us to try to mitigate some of the people that are in there just trying to squeeze through and get through the certificates. So you might have to sift through a couple extra records just for that reason right now. This is a bigger view of the wiki that I mentioned, and I'll talk a little bit about how you can also add to the wiki. The little blow-ups of the menus show that when you are in the wiki, when you go from one of the modules, you're pointed to one of the sections. So you go from the 400 tools, and if you go from the communication section, it automatically limits those 400 tools and resources to the ones that will help you communicate or collaborate. You can then limit the selections further by selecting your objective. So in communication, you can say, I want to raise awareness or share information, and it will limit the tools further. And then categories will let you limit based on the Web 2.0 technology. So if you know that you wanted to explore creating video, you can immediately go to the video section and just find resources based on creating videos or maybe using videos. If you are specifically interested in a topic, you could type that into the search box or any other keyword. We're working to improve that search all the time, but there's some great simulations throughout the project, physics simulations and many other tools, so you can do a search and hopefully find what you're looking for that way. The portfolio that you create is one of the great rewards that you'll get by participating. And that personal portfolio, you can choose to use the Digication system And that's something that Mtac has made an agreement with Digication through SUNY. So anybody that uses this Mtac Mooc is able to request a free Digication account. It doesn't mean a lot to folks at UB because UB also has selected Digication as our portfolio system of choice, the recommended portfolio system. So if you as a member of the UB community decide to participate in Mtac, you would, instead of choosing a free Digication account, you should use your UB Digication account. That will give you some great advantages. Mainly, UB has some support systems in place, real life people that when you can actually get to campus, you can meet with them. If you're not on campus, you can communicate with them using Zoom or other methods, telephone, email. But you have kind of a private support network if you use your UB Digication system. Anybody is also welcome to use any other ePortfolio tool that exists. And people are adding new tools to the wiki all the time. Right now, I think we have close to 40 different ePortfolio tools that you can choose from creating a simple video, or even a PowerPoint can serve as your portfolio platform, to portfolio tools that are specific for that purpose. So one of the big rewards is creating a portfolio. That portfolio will stick with you forever. Until the SUNY and Digication partnership goes away. And you can also earn digital badges. So with that portfolio, it shall hopefully be a start of your professional portfolio, or it can be something that you might link to from a portfolio that you can develop. You can develop as many portfolios as you need and then cross-link them. When you get that portfolio, you certainly want to embed the digital badges that you earn through Mtac and through other avenues. And also the Coursera Certificate of Completion can be put and displayed on your portfolio. Also, you can share these through your social networks like LinkedIn and other more social types of networks like Facebook, or put it into your email signature. The digital badges are more than just a pretty picture. If somebody clicks on your badge, it will bring them to a page that shows that it was issued through the SUNY system. It will also bring somebody directly to the portfolio you created as evidence of your learning. So the biggest reward that we hope you get out of the course is the intrinsic rewards of being a lifelong learner. And then at the end, you'll have all of these added benefits available to you that you can share. So we would like you to also help us improve the wiki. There are many tools that are still not a part of the project. If you just go into the contribute menu, you can create an account and you can easily add new tools. That's another way to earn another digital badge, as being a contributor. Also, after you complete the course, we will also invite those that have completed the course to be a mentor in the community. Again, that's a rewarding opportunity, something that you can put on your resume or CV, and another badge will be able to show that you participated as a mentor. I think some of my slides got a little out of order, so this is the contribute menu for the wiki. Just go in, it's a separate account from Coursera, but then you can add a tool or even just modify a tool. So if you know that there's a tutorial for something that we have, you can add that. Or if you see a typo, please go in and correct that too. Just change the stats this morning for this slide. So as of today, we have 11,759 learners who have enrolled, and they're from across more than 150 countries. This map is not scientifically mapped, but when you see a bigger circle, it shows the larger number of enrollments. So you see that we have a nice cohort from Singapore. India is a big draw on the enrollments, Mexico, and of course the biggest group, the biggest community is from the SUNY system. SUNY grants through UB and also through the SUNY system have been the ones to fund this project. The UB libraries are now the biggest supporter, supporting a lot of my time to continue to support all the learners in the project. But we have the bulk of the learners are from the SUNY system, both faculty and students and staff. So I just want to share the URL one more time, suny.edu/emtech. If you go to the website, under the About menu, there are a lot of resources that you can share with your colleagues and your friends. So you can just copy some of that information and share it through your social networks or through email to have somebody take the course with you. Sometimes just that social environment of having a friend take the course with you will give you a little bit motivation to keep going. So the entire course can take about 5 hours to complete, about an hour per module. But you can, if you go in there and you decide that you wish to really do some discovery learning, you can get sucked in, and there's 400 tools that you can continue to learn about. So you can spend many, many hours. So just to summarize, the Mtac project is a very unique opportunity that we have students working together with faculty and staff. And in that environment, you're all equals. If you look close at somebody's portfolio, you might be able to say, okay, this person's a faculty and this person's a student or a staff, but we're all just learners. So that's one of the things that makes the project unique. So I did want to leave a few minutes for some questions, and I'm happy to demonstrate the project in any way. I can pull up the website either for Coursera or the Wiki. And like I said, I can stay on longer than our half hour. If you do need to log off, you're welcome to do so. But I would love to take questions or have any conversation with anyone. So, thank you. I hope you do have some questions. And Mary, you're welcome to unmute to ask those questions. Ken, I know that your mic was working earlier, so I hope you have some questions for me too.
So this is a course that we'll have to take any of the projects from our curriculum, or we can just take a random project.
You're actually welcome to use the course in any way that you see fit. It's not a requirement as of yet. We have had some faculty from UB and elsewhere through SUNY that have asked their students to take some of the modules as part of their required course activities. But as it stands, it's an open course. You are free to go into the course and explore any part of it. And also, if there is something that you're working on as part of a course, and you do decide that there's some of the tools in the wiki that will help you complete that course, you're welcome to tie those together. It's not a requirement to do so, but you're welcome to do so. So if you're creating a project and you decide that putting together an infographic that shows the data that you've collected would be helpful in one of your class presentations, certainly try to make the learning in here as authentic as possible and tie it to whatever it is that you're interested to doing. So it's much more meaningful as compared to in a course, somebody might say, okay, you have to do this project and it's based on this particular fake assignment. If you can tie this to something real, then it's much more meaningful for you. So I encourage you to try to use it in any way possible.